Please welcome the engineers. Once again, good evening, hockey fans. Welcome to Rensselaer and Houston Fieldhouse for tonight's ECAC matchup between the Saints of St. Lawrence University and your Engineers of Rensselaer. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, the visitors from St. Lawrence, starting in the goal, number 30, Daniel Manella. At left defense, number 12, Bo Hansen. At right defense for the Saints, number 32, Philip Alfberg. The starting forward line for St. Lawrence, at left wing, number 9, Ryan Garvey. At center, number 27, Keenan Suthers. And at right wing, number 11, Carson Gasevich. The rest of the St. Lawrence Saints, their head coach, Mark Morris. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Engineers of RPI. Leading your Engineers on the ice tonight, the junior engineer, Charlie Wolf. Starting in the goal, a sophomore from Victoria, British Columbia, number 1, Lyndon Marshall. At defense, a freshman from Bloomington, Minnesota, number 23, Jake Johnson. At right defense, he's a senior from Sparta, New Jersey, number 4, Tommy Grant. The starting forward line. At left wing is a freshman from Espoo, Finland, number 11, Autovile Leppinen. At center, a junior from Mississauga, Ontario, number 16, Jacob Hayhurst. And at right wing, a junior from Phoenix, Arizona, number 17, Todd Burgess. The rest of the Engineers, your head coach, Dave Smith. Assistant coaches, Dan Jewell and Chuck Weber. Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to the catwalk on the north side of Houston Fieldhouse. Please welcome Cadet Peter Kaderi. He's joined by the 2nd Civil Support Sergeant Joshua Slish and Sergeant First Class Thomas Myers. And now joining them on the ice surface is the Talon 4 robot named Toothless, who will be participating in the ceremonial puck drop. Joining Toothless at center ice, St. Lawrence University Assistant Captain Michael Laidley and RPI Hockey Captain Tommy Grant. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, Toothless. Now, all veterans and those currently serving, we ask that you please stand to be recognized. Now, everyone, we ask, please bow your head in a moment of silence for those who have fallen in combat for our freedom. Thank you. Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors. Tonight's Joint Service Color Guard is led by Cadet Jason Wheeler. The Canadian National Anthem will be performed by the RPI Pep Band. Now please remain standing and facing the Joint Service Color Guard for the performance of the National Anthem of the United States of America by Midshipman Kerry Mahar.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Color guard will retire here at the Zamboni door of the Houston Fieldhouse. We're getting ready for RPI hockey. Oh boy. Anyway, getting ready to drop the puck here. 1-6-1 on the season is St. Lawrence. 1-0 are the Saints, and you're supposed to hold off on the PA until the color guard has left the ice. But anyway, we'll deal with that another day. Before we get this game started, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. A reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. As I mentioned, the starting goaltenders for RPI will once again be Lyndon Marshall, looking to bounce back from last night's 6 goals against. And for St. Lawrence, it'll be Daniel Manella, who does not have a record on the season. Arthur Bry has the 1-6 record. So we're getting basically a fresh goalie. He's played 58 minutes on the season in 2 games, has Manella. So seemingly both in relief. Saints in their scarlet and brown with a little bit of white trim. RPI in their home whites as we are underway at the Houston Fieldhouse. Engineers and St. Lawrence. And there's a steal there by Ryan Garvey, Jr. for the Saints in the near side of the RPI zone. Garvey, Keenan Southers, and Carson Gisevich on the line for the Saints. Now Lepinen just lost it off the tip of his stick in the far corner. Picked up by St. Lawrence here as it's worked around to the near side by Philip Alfberg. And now Bo Hansen near side for Gisevich as they play catch behind the goal. Hansen, outlet pass to center. Garvey, he'll just gain the red line and dump it in. It'll be picked up here by the Engineers. Brady Ferner up the near side boards. Trying to tip it into the zone was Brady Whiffen. Turned back around, however, by Alex Gilmore. Gilmore shoots it off the end wall. Swatted around behind by Ederer. And now played to the near side corner. Michael Ederer, assistant captain, senior from Lancaster, New York. Gets bottled up behind the goal. Tommy Grant, RPI's captain, comes away with it and finds Ott. Ott to the line, chips it in, he'll chase. Jake Stevens, the first one there. He takes a bump from Ott in the far corner. Trying to dig it out of there is David Jankowski, a freshman for the Saints out of Waterdown, Ontario. As is Whiffen. Whiffen nearly had it there. Gilmore chops at it out through center ice. Spinning puck into the RPI zone. Doesn't have the legs for icing. Mears Moore back to pick it up. It'll be gathered in there as it'll be worked up the far side wall. Hit there, puck comes free, nice pass off the boards. Pickering into the zone, shot and a save by Marshall. He holds on and gets a whistle. It was a quick little play off the boards, and those little touch passes, they can look like something minor, but it can turn into something major, as it did spring the scoring chance there for Pickering, a freshman from Madrid, New York, looking for his first collegiate point. He's played in all 7 games for St. Lawrence this season. Billy Jerry to take the draw here, far side of the RPI zone against, looks like Michael Laidley. Win for the Saints off a shin pad out to center. Hit Polino, who's fresh. He didn't play last night. He was suspended after a game DQ. Now Polino, top of the zone, takes a shot. Save made. Loose puck covered up by Manella, who comes in 13 career games, Daniel Manella. He's 3-2-1 with a 2.68 goals against and a 9.23 save percentage. So that probably a little more indicative than his 5.13 goals against on the year. It's just, I mentioned, under 60 minutes played. Face-off coming up in the St. Lawrence zone. Tour Linden across to Bowman. Now Samek Arister. Save made there by Manella. And the Saints will try to clear it out far side. They do. Gathered up there and dropped back by Hallbauer. Tipped into the zone near side. Schumacher, give it away. Shot by Bowman and a glove save by Manella, who stares at it for an extra second as he holds on to the puck in a face-off coming up in the Saints zone. Manella has pretty much all white on the setup. A little bit of scarlet and brown on the blocker and the tips of the blocker and glove towards the wrist. His helmet looks pretty flashy. I can't see what is on it from here. He is out of, as I mentioned, Woodbridge, Ontario, Canada. Former Whitby Wolf. Here come the Saints. They'll chip it in by Southers. Far side circle, gathered up by Hayhurst. He wants to speed the other way. Jacob Hayhurst on the move. Saw his 6-game point streak end last night against Clarkson. Still 9 assists on the season for Hayhurst. Now with 3-on-2 the other way. The drop pass is given away. Burgess indirect off the wall. Chance here for Lepinen and Hayhurst. Lepinen in, waiting across, and the shot goes wide from Hayhurst. Waited maybe a little bit too long as he was converged on was Hayhurst, and now he gets clotheslined as the puck comes out to center. He'll be gathered up and dumped in by the Saints. First big chance there for RPI was a 2-on-1, really turned into maybe a 3-on-2 with Burgess trailing. Now it's tipped into the zone off Whiffen's stick. Manella out to play. He'll lift it up the near side wall. Didn't get it out of the corner, however, as Whiffen's there with Tommy Lee, who also didn't play last night. Lee is making his 5th appearance, looking for his first collegiate point. A lot of freshmen on this RPI team have their first career points, thanks in part to scoring 9 goals against Union last weekend, but none last night. As the puck is tied up behind the goal, it's Lee who comes away with it. The first-year skater is Lee out of Calgary, Alberta, and this is an offside call. Which reminds me to tell you about the officials, referees Chip McDonald and Chris Mastrangelo. The linesmen are Dimitri Antipin and Paul Traynor. Shots early in this one, 3-1 RPI. Face-offs are even at 2 apiece. Draw coming up at neutral ice. And it's won by the Saints cleanly, back to Wolf. Moving in, a shot deflects high and out of play. That was the defenseman on the far side, Cameron White, a sophomore from Toronto. Played in 25 games last year, 3 assists, that's all he had. Has 1 assist through 7 games this year for White. And Dylan Wolf is a sophomore from Victoria, Minnesota. He's the one on the ice here. So a little mismatch of pairings here with those two out there, but nonetheless, I guess when you have 7 defensemen, you're not going to be paired up all game anyway. Here's a shot, hit a body, not Marshall on its way through. Caught Pickering on the way in. Puck goes to the near corner of the RPI zone. Trying to poke it loose there. It was whiffing. Get some help from Morello as it's out to center. And now Polino into the zone. Polino waiting, shooting wide. Caroms around to the far side for Moore, who's back on defense tonight. He played a little forward last night with RPI shorthanded after the injuries and the suspension to Polino, but he's back on D is Moore. Now Grant near side into the skates of Polino. Of course, RPI without Will Riley. He was banged up yesterday, not in the lineup tonight. So probably their most offensive-minded, offensive-gifted defenseman, Will Riley, the Pittsburgh Penguins draft choice, not playing. This should be icing on RPI as was lifted down by Tommy Grant. 15-19 to go in the first period. No score, RPI and St. Lawrence from the Houston Fieldhouse. I'd like to welcome all you guys listening out there. RPI looking to improve to 3-1 in the league. They swept Union last weekend, but after a solid period and a half, maybe 2 periods yesterday, they're only down 2-0 going to the third. They gave up 4 to Clarkson. Loose puck in the zone, poke free, chopped out of the zone by DeGrande, gathered up by the Saints in their own end. Near side McIntyre. Drop pass here as Cade Gleekle moves it deep. Andrew McIntyre, freshman from Kirchner, Ontario. Off the boards now, it's Gleekle to the point. Some room, a shot deflected over the top of the net. As it's chipped up the far side, now to center. Played across by Schumacher. And now gathered in by Ferner. Up the near side wall, both teams changing off the stick of Hayers towards Bowman. It'll pop back out to center. Samek has it right in front of his own bench, tries to sweep it into the zone, comes right back to him. He'll try the far side corner, and that play is on all the way in deep. Quick outlet to center ice from the Saints. Intercepted on the far side wall by Ferner. Throws it right back to St. Lawrence, who then in turn ices it. As we get a whistle, 14:23 to play in period number 1. Shots are 3-1 Engineers. RPI won the season series last year against the Saints. And they're looking to do so again here this year. They had a win and a tie against St. Lawrence. They tied up in the North Country 4-4, a game they probably should have won. And then they won here in overtime 2-1. Now Samek, a wrist shot, sticked away there by the netminder. Manella to the near side. And now worked up the wall. Samek again. Trying to center now is Garvey back to the point. A shot hit a leg. There were plenty of bodies in front of the goal. And the shot came from the point by Stevens. Now Stevens again. Behind the goal. Southers. Broken up by Hayhurst down there. And now he'll skate it out. Chip to Lepinen. On for Burgess. No, hit the glove of Hansen. He'll try to play up the far side boards. Now Garvey near side. In stride for Gisevich. Gisevich, a shot goes behind the goal, wraps around to the far side. Now Gilmore a try. That was blocked by an Engineer. Might have been Tommy Grant. Either way, Grant picks it up now, uses the net as a screen to skate out to center. Still Tommy Grant over the center ice logo, lobs it far side in deep. Rattles around behind the goal, stopped there by Manella. He'll lift it in the air with a goaltender stick to the near side. Lee chops at it, can't corral. Pinching, jumping into the play, I guess was Ott there. He just came off the bench. He can't have it. Now back come the Saints into the zone. Drop pass, no. Chance to break for Ott. Maybe a 2-on-1 if Lee can join him. On comes Ott. Circles, shooting, a save. Rebound, another one. Stopped by Manella. Ott again, drops it back. Moore, right in between the circles. His shot hit a body. It was blocked by Gilmore. Good opportunities here in this first period for RPI. A couple of them. Odd man rushes. Unable to translate into goals there. Ott with a couple of goals on the year. Both of them coming in the same game against Union on Saturday. Of course, all the Engineers were shut out yesterday. Here comes Whiff into the zone after a nice pass from Polino. Polino trying to keep the line, does for a moment, but now it's moved out to center by White. Cameron White with some speed. He gets dumped there, and the whistle goes. Shots now 6-2 RPI, 12:15 to go in the first. RPI women's hockey was in action this afternoon. They lost to number 3 Clarkson, defending national champions, 3-0, but a solid showing there as RPI gave up an empty net goal late in that one, so really a 2-0 game against those Golden Knights. Women's hockey is back home next weekend for Yale and Brown, their first league home games. RPI is on the road next weekend. They head to Quinnipiac in Princeton. The defending ECAC champions, the Princeton Tigers, who won the league tournament in Lake Placid. We have our first media stoppage here, so maybe I can give you some more scores from around men's ECAC hockey play. Only 2 goals so far. Clarkson has scored at Union early in the first, and Princeton has scored a goal at Harvard. 1-0 Tigers there. The aforementioned Tigers, who beat Dartmouth, I believe, 6-1 last night. So they picked up where they've left off in conference play. RPI has just 1 home game in this first half of the season left. It's the 25th of November against UMass Lowell. So RPI trying to take advantage when they can of home games here against St. Lawrence. Lifted up the walls, we're back to action, hit by on Hayhurst, and now the Saints move it in. Far side, looking to feed it back door. It's tipped just wide in front. I think it was Jankowski, or make that Risto rather. Looking for the backdoor tap in now. Risto has it again. Top of the near circle, waiting. Fed back to the far point. Good stick there by Hayhurst, breaks it up. No, race for the puck. Way out of his net to the far circle comes Manella. He'll shoot it near side for Alfberg. And now flip towards center for Gleekel. Engineers take over in their own zone. Tommy Grant. Up the far side glass, skips past the intended target and all the way down. They wave off the icing and is helped along by Manella. Finishing his check is Bowman. Puck comes free to the far side, kicked at by Garvey. On come the Saints. Gasevich into the zone. And it's played right back out to center ice. Backing up in his own zone, Hansen, near side Stevens. And now Garvey. Poke check there and a good one by Johnson. Puck hops out of play. 11:08 to go first period. No score, RPI and the Saints. So, Engineers with a solid start to this game. They didn't start poorly against Clarkson last night either. They just weren't able to get that early goal. And the Saints were able, or excuse me, the Golden Knights were able to get one eventually late in the first. 34 seconds left in the first period. And that really kind of set the tone, as all Clarkson did after that was add on. Seems like just for RPI breaking the seal, the lid on the net, and they're able to pour a couple in. That's what they were able to do last weekend against Union. Puck tied up at the far side corner of the RPI zone. Dug out by Jankowski. Back to the point. Holding it is Hansen out of Boise, Idaho. Back to Hansen now. And now Stevens, stick handling, throws one towards the net. Spinning and wheeling to try to fire was Gilmore, but he couldn't get anything on it. And it just kind of sat there, and the Engineers are able to skate it out to center. Tommy Lee shoots it in. First one to it. Going to be a Saint behind the goal. Hansen lifted in the air, near side, glove down by Polino. Has to wait for Whiffen to touch up. Now he tries to move it in, but takes a hit from Stevens. And now a whistle on the late offside, I think. Yes, that's the call. Not sure why, because it seemed like Polino had vacated the zone, but lines on the far side didn't agree, so we'll have a draw here. Just outside the Saints' end. 10:18 left to play first period. No score, RPI and St. Lawrence. It was a low-scoring game last time these two teams met here. As I mentioned, 2-1 in overtime. Victor Liljegren, who else had the game winner in OT. Seems like he has had a good number of the overtime winners in his 4-year career. But of course, Liljegren not walking through that door. Engineers need to find someone else. They can put the puck in the back of the net. Center ice draw. Samek has it. He'll shoot it in. Wraps it around. And another delayed offside. Touched by Burgess. I don't think that's. I don't think Burgess saw that. That was the case. But for whatever reason, they're not calling this intentional offside. Oh, please. Anyway. 10:02 left in the first. No score. A little bit of referee muscle flexing going on here, but whatever. Puck in Burgess's skates, chipped out to center ice. A chance for Leppin, and he helps it on. Hayer's trying to get there. Afterburners are on, and he just barely beats his man to it. Puck in the near corner. Now back to the point. Samek, a wrist shot. It was blocked, and now it pops to center ice. Pickering. He's got a 2-on-1 with Dimov. Pickering a shot, and he scores. I thought Marshall got it from this angle, but no, he must have snuck it under Marshall's leg. It's a goal for Dimov and a 1-0 Saints advantage. That's the, Pickering. Either way, it was going to be a first career goal if they scored in that rush. Neither of them have points coming into this game. 2-on-1 developed after Samek's shot was blocked, and just inside that left post for Caden Pickering. Freshman from Madrid, New York, with his first career point, first career goal on that one. So on the third St. Lawrence shot, the Saints take the lead.
He was assisted by number 25, Michael Laidley. Time of the goal, 10 minutes, 21 seconds. Goal by 18 Pickering.
So they move it in again. Another shot saved by Marshall. Rebound just sat there. Another try is flipped wide from Alfsberg, who did not catch that one cleanly, but it went below the goal line now to the far side. Taking a look up ice here is Hallbauer. He is wrapped up there. As it's moved behind the cage. Harris near side looking for Bowman. Skips through everybody. They wave off the icing as Bowman was tangled up there with Alfberg. Saints gather behind their own goal. Jeff Clark, freshman from London, Ontario, playing at far side. Smart play there by Grant to not finish off that hit, or would have been a hit from behind. Now it's back out to center ice. White has it now for St. Lawrence at his own blue line. Morello trying to disrupt. He ended up losing a bit of an edge as he went flying through the zone. Now Jasevich lost it. Gets it back, centering. Shot coming. Garvey was blocked down nicely by DeGrande. And now back comes Morello with Tommy Grant. Grant has to stop at the line, but the Engineers stay onside this time. Flipped across on a backhander, went wide from Polino. Fluttering puck that Polino did a good job just to get anything on. And now it's Jerry trying to walk out of the half boards, plays it across to the far side. Rister coming, goes wide of the goal. Chopped around to the near side half boards, and Morello has it there. To the point, Johnson or Rister, and Manella didn't see that one at all, but it whistled about a foot wide of the left post. Chip back to center. Engineers gather again and go right back on the attack. Polino stops and shoots. A right pad save. The rebound kicked out all the way to the far point, but it's only Saints out there, and they skate it the other way. Southers will just chip it in and go off on a change. The 6'8", 235-pound Ontario native will complete that switch the Saints were making. Shot near side, Jerry. And the neutral zone just throws it up the wall right to Stevens. He'll turn it right back around for St. Lawrence as the Saints lead 1-0 here. On a goal midway through the first period by Caden Pickering. His first collegiate tally. Chipped up the wall by Polino. RPI will try to change. Tommy Lee on now. He tries to battle for in the far corner, but the Saints take over. They had numbers there. Flipped off a skate and gathered up by Ferner. He goes D-to-D to Moore. Mears Moore hit a stick on his way through into the far corner. First one to it's going to be on. He'll turn and fire off the side of the cage. Whiffin's back there as well behind the goal. They battle for it on the far side of the Saints end. Pops free to the point. Some room. A wrist shot and a save. Rebound cannot be corralled, but Lee can't find the rebound on the shot by Hallbauer. Hallbauer just keeps it in at the far point. Although the Saints have some time behind their own goal to settle things down. It's Schumacher. Down the middle. Chopped along. This should be icing as kind of a panicky play there from Ederer, the senior, and he just saw someone coming, just whacked it down ice from his own side of his red line. 6:39 to go in the first period. Saints have a 1-0 lead. Engineers have only scored first in one game this year. It was last Saturday against Union. They won that one 4-2. Harris, a wrister, that's a save. Rebound came free. Lappinen nearly had a crack at it, but it kind of hopped out of the danger area before he could find it. The Saints were able to clear to center. Hayhurst has it now, spinning around in neutral ice. Jacob Hayhurst, the junior from Mississauga, Ontario. Plays it back to Grant, and now far side for Matt Harris. Sophomore from near Boston. Sudbury to be exact. Wrapped up the far side boards, chopped towards the line. Good keep on the glove by Grant. Goes behind the goal. Hayhurst there, trying to center. Loose to the side of the cage. Trying to jam it in was Lappinen. Still nothing. It's in the goal! Manella pleading his case that he was on top of it. The referee standing on top of the goal. I can just about bet they're going to review this. Burgess, I think, is going to get credit for this if it stands. But I am a little bit skeptical. Although you got to give credit to the referee on the backside of the net there for being right on top of the net. If he doesn't see that that Manella has covered the puck, then he has every right to not blow a whistle, and he didn't. So that's on the Engineers' side. Now they can look at this. Oh, it's sitting behind him. Oh, yeah. A lot of credit to the official there, the referee on the far side, for sticking with that play. It was not underneath Manella. In fact, Stevens trying to stuff it under the pants of Manella, but Burgess, the good awareness to go hard to the crease and jam away. And it might not even be Burgess's goal. It might have been the Hayhurst. Chip McDowell says good goal.
RPI goal was scored by
So 1-1. It's going to be Lappinen with the goal.
He was assisted by number 16, Jacob Hayhurst.
Hayhurst with the assist, his 10th, as we're back to action here. So Grant with the secondary assist. He made a real good play, Tommy Grant. So Lappinen, excuse me, sorry for the delay there. Lappinen from Hayhurst and Grant. Grant used all of his 6'3" range to snare that puck that the Saints were trying to clear. He gloved it down, set it down, played it deep. Hayhurst got it to the net, and Lappinen was the last one to touch it. I was talking about Burgess only because he was the one who kind of got in there and tried to jam it in, but I don't think he ever touched it with his stick. And so the correct assertion was made there that it was with Lappinen being the last one to touch it, he gets the goal, his second goal on the season. Now Polino turning out of the corner, takes a shot, goes wide. Picked up here by Jerry on the near side. Billy Jerry turning. He'll feed it towards the net. It goes wide. It was Morello who might have had a foot in the crease, but doesn't get called for here. Although it would have been interesting if that puck went in. But RPI doing what they maybe didn't do last night and go harder to the net. There's a good hit there by Alfberg on Harris, who's caught way up ice. Good play, though, by Hallbauer and Hayhurst doing the defensive job there. Hayhurst replacing Harris at the defensive spot when Harris was caught. That's what the centerman's supposed to do. And Harris was right there, Johnny, on the spot to help out on the defensive end. RPI gets it deep. Saints take over again. Here's Stevens thrown through the middle of the ice, gathered up by Mears Moore. Near side for Lappinen, the goal scorer. Plays it on further for Hayhurst. He'll turn back towards his own end. Cross ice feed finds Ferner. Ferner up the boards, past Burgess, no icing here. In deep, Hayhurst steals it away before Stevens can get there. Still Hayhurst. 10 assists on the season for Jacob Hayhurst, who had 13 all last year. Lappinen now in the far corner, off for Burgess, a wrister, and a glove save by Manella. That one had some zip to it from Burgess, but might have been headed high anyway. More importantly, the Engineers have tied the game at 1 on Otto Ville-Lepinen's second career goal. As we're going to get another media stoppage here. Run down the scoring for you. Caden Pickering from Michael Laidley at 10:21 of this first period. The Saints goal, and then at 14:04, Otto Ville-Lepinen from Jacob Hayhurst and Tommy Grant. Shots are 11-4 RPI early. As that goal, a big one for the Engineers, who might have been tough. 3:49 left in the first. It might have been tough to go to the first intermission tonight down 1-0. Last night, only difficult because the goal came so late, but the Golden Knights did have a number of odd man rushes in that first period last night, and maybe deserved to be up 1-0. But Engineers tonight certainly did not deserve to be trailing going into the first intermission, and that tying goal certainly warranted 11 shots on goal for RPI in this first period. But before we get any further, I want to give a shout out to the RPI football team. They won today 27-20. They clinched the Liberty League Championship with a game to go. Huge feat for them. 8-0 in the year, 4-0 in conference play, and all that's left in the regular season docket is a date with Union College and the Dutchman Shoes game, oldest college football rivalry in New York State, coming up next Saturday at East Campus Stadium. So big shout out to the RPI football guys, deserved. Number 15 in the country. They win again here today against, believe it or not, the Saints of St. Lawrence. So back to action here at the Houston Fieldhouse. 3.5 to go in the first. Mears Moore finally digs it off the wall near side, plays it across for Ferner into the zone, swatted in out of the air by Bowman, picked up far side by White for the Saints, and around to the near side. And here is Dylan Wolf to center ice, glove down by Moore, sweeps it right back in. Manella stops it there. Cameron White up the far side boards, intercepted by Whiffen, who plays it back for Hallbauer. Now Matt Harris down the middle. Good deflection into the zone by Whiffen. Near side now, Whiffen runs into Alfberg. Tommy Lee trying to help find the puck, and this the Saints who come away with it. Alfberg across for Wolf. Center ice connection. Nice play there to break it up. Hallbauer. Back comes Lee. He'll lift it to the near side corner. Lee now wraps up there with Schumacher, and Schumacher will try the near side. Jasevich, now some speed. Here comes Southers into the zone. Southers a shot, he scores. Almost a mirror image of the Saints' first goal. This time it's Southers with a lot of speed, maybe deceptive speed. The Engineers didn't really seem to mind him too much. That long stride certainly paying off there for Keenan Southers. I mentioned 6'8", 235, a former Dubuque Fighting Saint. So Southers just rips that one past Marshall under his arm, I think. It's 2-1 Saints, 2:25 to go in the first period. And center ice draw, won by St. Lawrence. Alfberg. Shot in far side. This will be icing as Tommy Grant's the first one down. We'll send the draw back to the Saints end. 2 goals on 5 shots for St. Lawrence. For Southers, it's his third goal of the year. And as a 6'8" former Fighting Saint, we know that now Luke Karate, if he was the largest former Dubuque Fighting Saint, he certainly no longer is, with Southers playing for them as well, obviously more recently than Luke. Puck near side in the St. Lawrence zone. Polino trying to stick handle, tips it off to the point for Samick. Right back down low for Polino, trying to center, tied up in the middle was Morello. No, he gets it back and he scores! Morello sticks to it and buries it. His first goal of the year. We're tied at 2. We might be in for a shootout tonight. But Jake Morello, the junior from Slingerlands, New York, picks up career goal number 4. His first point of the year. Comes at a big time in this game. Engineers could have been deflated after going right back down by a goal, but no, they answer. Make it 2-2. Scrap for the puck off the draw, picked up by Moore. He'll shoot it in. Hayhurst over there. Now Burgess Lobs this one in the air. Kept in far side, now clear out to center. Moore back in his own zone. Stevens at center ice for the Saints, chips it in. So the goal for RPI, the most recent one, is Morello from Polino and Samek, and we get a stoppage in play. 1:21 to go in this first period. RPI out shooting the Saints 12-5, but we're tied 2-2 on the scoreboard. Face off to the left of Marshall. Won by the Saints, who shoot it deep. That's Hansen. Back towards the near side point. Now a shot from a tight angle. Let's see who that is. That's Jasevich. He gets it back. Carson Jasevich on the move. Far side carry into the zone. Takes a shot. Save Marshall. He holds on there. And we get another stoppage in play. 1:03 to go in the opening frame. So first career goal for Pickering to get things started for St. Lawrence. Then first goal of the season for Morello. Otto Ville Lappinen, who scored a pretty memorable first goal of his career last Friday night here against Union. Gets his second there. And probably won't have an easier goal than the one he scored more recently. He didn't even put the puck in the net. He was just the last one to touch it. Anyway, on comes Whiffen for RPI. He takes a hit at the blue line. Flipped near side off the glass by the goaltender. Now Harris dumps his man along the near wall. That was McIntyre. Hallbauer, far side, past Whiffen. They wave off the icing on the near side. Linesman, he said no. Gathered up by the Saints here. Down the middle, Stevens for Gleekel. Broken up at the line. Gathered up by St. Lawrence in its own zone. Wolf pressured by Tour Linden. Taking a look around before he could nab that puck with Stevens, but he's able to regather. And now far side connection. Wrist toe to center ice. Shot in deep by Gleekel. Hallbauer picks it up for RPI. Left in the far corner for Harris. 13 seconds to go in the first. Near side connection is a good one to Hallbauer. And now Morello. He'll flip it in from center. Gloved and left aside by Manella. Wanted this horn to sound without another whistle. Maybe he's got a hot date tonight. First period's over. 2-2 RPI and St. Lawrence. Shots picked up as that period went along. 13-7 the totals after one, and 13-9 were the face-offs in favor of St. Lawrence after one. No penalties in the first period, as we had last night, but plenty of goals to go around. We'll get you all the stats and the goal scoring after our first intermission. In honor of the RPI football team, threw together a little bit of an audio mashup. It is chronological, so it's not really a mashup, I guess, but all the best calls from Kurt and Bob Conway from ECAV earlier this afternoon. That'll be our first intermission, so please don't be confused. It's a little bit of an audio recap, if you will, with just calls from Kurt and Bob. RPI football clinching the Liberty League Championship with their win today against St. Lawrence. That'll be our first intermission. Second intermission will be an athletics wrap-up overall. Some fall to winter transitional stuff there as we move along in the athletics calendar. So we'll take a quick break and come back to the Houston Fieldhouse, where it's RPI 2 and St. Lawrence 2. You're listening to live coverage of RPI hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
Sidney H. Clark, Buell V. Day, Richard H. Ellis, Michael J. Farrell, Lynn H. Forster, Raymond F. Fox, Franz O. Friedlander, Donald W. Gleason, Lewis T. Griffith, Albert Griggs Jr., William A. Higgins Jr., John W. Inglis, James A. Kelly, Thomas R. Kerslake Jr., Harold A. Knapp, Herbert W. Pert, Richard E. Pond, Richard M. Raven, Harvey J. Raymond, Harlan J. Stretch, Charles H. Tudor, Harold F. Turner, and Charles A. Wall Jr. We thank them and will always remember them for their sacrifice.
Well.
The RPI Pep Band. Hey, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home, contact Jolene Morris with the Brewer Morris team at Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Give them a call at 518-331-1579. The top sales team in Rensselaer County. Let Jolene's expertise move you. RPI would like to thank GE, Moe's, Sefcu, CDPHP, Boucher and Clark Financial Group, Market 32 by Price Chopper, Yankee Trails, Red Front Pizza, Tri-City Rentals, Duncan, Toyota, CDTA, Bespoke Bowl, McCaddy's Pub, Slidin' Dirty, Ben and Jerry's, Warren W. Fain, Boucher and Clark Benefits, Wicked Smart, Gatherers Granola, Freihofer's, Little Caesars Pizza, Howard Hanna Realty, RPI Chapel and Cultural Center, H2M Architects and Engineers, and Tri-City Valley Cats. Ryan's Wake is proud to support RPI Athletics. Head downtown after the game and check out the pub kitchen at Ryan's Wake. Don't forget to visit the official online store for Rensselaer Athletics at rpifanshop.com.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Lee McElroy. I'd like to welcome all of you to our annual Military Appreciation Night. On behalf of RPI Athletics, we thank you for your service and we hope you enjoy the game. Let's go Red.
Hi, I'm Dave Smith, coach of the RPI hockey team. I'm attorney Stuart Jones. Like Coach Smith, I believe in a strong, skilled, successful team. East Stuart Jones actively law firm, successful personal law firm in the entire state of New York. We are your economic partners. Your help. Coach, good luck tonight. Go Red.
Two RPI teams clinched Liberty League championships this afternoon. The men's cross-country team and the men's football squad, by defeating St. Lawrence 27-20 this afternoon, improved to 8-0 on the season and won the Liberty League championship and an automatic berth to the NCAA Division III championship tournament.
Inside the Houston Fieldhouse, 2-2 RPI and St. Lawrence after one period of play. That was a bit of an audio recap of today's football game you just heard. RPI defeating St. Lawrence 27-20, 8-0, and the number 15 team in the country in Division III football. Here, we're about set to start the second period. Before we do, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. Second period underway now as the Saints dump it in. RPI skating from left to right now. And now feed it through center all the way to Bo Hansen, who plays for the other team. And they'll shoot it back the other way. Jake Johnson for RPI, freshman from Bloomington, Minnesota. He'll try the near side boards, broken up by Hansen. And now gathered in by Hayhurst. To the far side he goes. Can't get it out of the zone, however. It's backhanded on goal, helped aside by Marshall. Johnson picks it up there, off for Grant. Tommy Grant lost the puck in the near corner, stolen away by Gilmore. But now he and Gilmore, as Grant, go at it. Gilmore is going to ring it around to the far side. Saints changing. And again here, a good heads-up play that time by Stevens to not touch that puck until he saw his teammate hop over the boards. Potential too many men call was thwarted there. There's a shot and a glove save by Marshall from the near point try. by Clark. Didn't hold it. Now on comes Hayhurst. Hayhurst walking in, has a step. Hayhurst shooting, and a glove save made by Manella. He'll hold on to that there. Hayhurst making a bid for his first goal of the year. He picked up his 10th assist already in this one. We'll get you all the scoring in a bit. All the assists have been tabulated after that first period. Our first media stoppage will be a good time for that. 2-2 RPI in St. Lawrence. 18:51 to go. Clean win. Back to Moore. Moore a drive and a save on the left pad by Manella. Clearing effort near side. Broken up by the Engineers. Shot around behind by Cameron White. Worked up the far side wall. Pickering. He got the scoring started for the Saints. Pass far side. They're offside. And a touch of the puck. And a stoppage here. Saints, I don't know what that hit. Looked like it hit up maybe a wet spot on the ice or something. It just kind of stopped on its way across the ice, putting a Saint offside. Shots are 15-9 RPI. They outshot St. Lawrence 13-7 in the first. Minute and a half into this second period. Bouncing puck in the slot, trying to walk all the way to the net. Marshall trying to just steer it out of there. Finally was able to swat it away. Now picked up by Polino. On come the Engineers. Polino with speed down the middle. Hands it off near side. Jerry fed off the end wall. Karam's around, pinching in more. First one to a Polino there. On for Jerry. He's tied up by White. Breaks away. Far side half wall. Still Billy Jerry. Circling. Shooting! And a shot and a save on the blocker by Manella. Flipped right back down low by Samick as he had pinched up the far wall. RPI trying to make a partial change here. The forwards going off. Mearsmore waiting. Now he feeds it ahead for Samick. Flipped into the near corner of the St. Lawrence end. Battling forward is Bowman. Now DeGrande. DeGrande waiting, turning and shooting a tight angle shot and a save by Manella, who gobbles that right up and holds on. 17:38 on the clock. Second period. And a flurry of goals in the second half of that first period. There were no goals at the 10-minute mark. But then at 10 minutes, 14, 17, and 18, we had goals. Face off here. Flipped up the far side to center. Saints break into the RPI zone 1-on-3. Swatted off the stick of Risto. Now they're battled up just outside the RPI zone, wrapped up against the wall near the penalty boxes. Hallbauer comes away with it. Knocked off the stick of DeGrande. Jumping in is Samick. Fires in on goal, and a save by Manella on the stick. Tipped to the far corner. Tour Linden. A bit of a faux hit in the corner, but does the job. Forces the puck free around. It's kept into the near side point by Hallbauer. Touch pass, moved to center by Gleekel. Kicked at Hallbauer. Has it. Near side connection. Tour Linden just flips it deep and goes off on a change himself. Alfberg spins in the near corner. Off for Cade Gleekel. Center ice carry. On come the Saints. Near side McIntyre. Fed across. Good stick by Burgess. Watch out. That one hopped up into the crowd. And we get a stoppage in play. 16:40 to go in the second. Teams trading goals in that first period is Saints, who scored first, Pickering, and then Leppinen, and then Southers and Morello. Almost exactly a year ago, these two teams tied 4-4 up in Canton. Whiffen and Southers on the draw. Engineers win it, and Harris shoots it right out of play. Another souvenir. We're going to run out of pucks at this pace. I'm sure Dana's well stocked down there with the ECAC hockey puck. Face off to the left of Marshall. Won by the Engineers again. Seemingly, just from what I've seen, a better job in the circle. And this is going to be icing in here, RPI. Better job in the circle here in the second period. See if that's actually true. Well, they're even here in the second. Still 16-12 St. Lawrence overall. Winning face-offs. RPI did a good job last night against Clarkson. Continuing to try to make that a plus stat instead of a negative. Shot coming from Souther's very tight angle, bottom of the near circle, easily sticked away by Marshall. Played to the far side, half wall. Winning it back is Garvey. Garvey out of the corner, far side, back to the far point, into the skates of Stevens. All they can do is shoot it right back down low. Gathered in by Southers. He'll play it near side. Waiting for it is Ott. Ott trying to clear it past Hansen. Does get it as far as center. Lee now knocked down. And it's flipped right back into the RPI zone. Matt Harris back to get it. Rolling puck behind the RPI cage. Left behind for Grant. Grant has a chance to look up ice. Has a man breaking. It's Lee. And Alexa just cross center and dump it in off a glove. Stevens for the Saints. Far side, cross the red line into RPI territory. Top of the circle. Drop pass there. Nice move to get inside. Shot blocked. Rebound. Put wide. Ederer with 2 chances there. The first one blocked right back to him. Second effort whistled just wide of the post. Now Ederer keeps it alive along the near side wall. Back to the near point. Hansen trades places there with Jankowski. Around the net, a shot and a stick save by Marshall. And now fed back to the side of the net by Gilmore. Saints pressuring here. Hansen, far side Stevens. Fake a shot, nearly lost it. Jankowski a wrister, saved by Marshall, and he holds on. Had to look around a couple of trees there. Did Marshall to pick that one out. He did a nice job to stop it and hold on, keeping this one tied at 2. 15:05 to go in the period. You're listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Perry Lascaris here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Haley Miller could not join us tonight. She's feeling a little bit under the weather, so hopefully she's able to get back at this at the next possible opportunity. She did a great job last night providing some color to our broadcast here. So just me here tonight. RPI looking for a weekend split from their North Country opposition. Tonight it's the Saints from St. Lawrence. Loose puck. Hallbauer went up and gloved it. Then he lost it on the way down to the ice along with his stick. Luckily he was able to claim it and flip it far side where Samek can move it to center. Saints regathered there, lifted along into the near corner, and now Samek there behind the goal. Hallbauer lifted up the far boards. Morello can't clear the zone, and then it does leave the zone. It's brought back in as Alfberg was hoping no one else saw it, but at least the guy wearing the striped shirt, he's the most important one. He saw it and blew the whistle. 17-13 are the shots in favor of RPI. That was a little bit confusing. It sounded like at times. 14:37 left in the second period. 2-2 RPI in St. Lawrence. Johnson up the wall. On to Bowman. He takes a bump. Puck goes through him. Gathered up by the Saints in their own zone. That's Clark. Played up the wall. Broken up there by DeGrande. Saints have it behind their own goal. Worked up the wall. Nearly lost it there. That was McIntyre. In fact, he does. Tour Linden tried to skate through Wolf. That didn't work. Simple physics in play there. Back to get it now, Linden. Grant, near side of his own zone, up the wall for Linden. Nice feed across. Johnson into the zone. Stops at the point. He's pinned up by a couple of Saints. Works it off for Bowman. At the far half wall Saints zone. Gathered in by Bowman again. Kept in at the point. This is Johnson. Jake Johnson walking in, bottom of the circle, all the way around Johnson. Tried the wraparound. Where's the puck? It's in the goal! Jake Johnson with his first career goal. The Engineers take the lead. We have more crease drama from St. Lawrence as there wasn't an initial signal. It was a wraparound goal for Johnson. He carried it all the way in from the far point, and they're going to look at this once again. But if the refs saw the puck in the net, like the last one, we here are going to get a chance. Looks like it's in the net for me. We'll see. Referee sees it. It's in the net. Oh, yeah. Top-down view will get the best angle. Manella does a decent job getting over, but he didn't cover the post. And let's see, the referee on the backside this time, Mastrangelo, also in good position, as McDonald was earlier, in good position to make this call. If he can see it's underneath Manella from his angle that we actually don't have as good a look, in fact, as Mastrangelo has here. If you can see underneath the bottom of Manella. Oh, no, it's not. I don't know what he's pointing at. It's between the pads of Manella. Well, that changes things. Hold the phone. This might not be a goal. The referee, Mastrangelo, pointed, and I couldn't see what he was pointing at, but usually when you point at the goals, because you can see the puck over the line, from the angle we saw, it was between the pads of Manella. So now I'm back on the skeptical side here. Goal was the call on the ice. We'll see what happens here. Mastrangelo buckles the helmet on, says no goal. So wipe it away, Jake Johnson. And I tend to agree here. My initial reaction was Johnson stuffed it in. Manella didn't get over to the post. It didn't cover the post, but the shot wasn't inside the post on the wraparound from Johnson. It was shot towards the middle of the net. And Manella clearly has the puck between his pads. And it's not a goal. That's why they have replay. So we're still tied at 2, 13:41 left in the second period. Johnson will have to try again for his second career goal. Or first career goal, excuse me. As we'll draw things up in the Saints zone. Grant feeds it off the end boards. And now worked ahead by the Saints. Into the near corner, it's Southers. Back to the point. Hansen, far side into the slot. Garvey, no, stolen away by Burgess. Nice indirect up the wall for Lepinen. Has Hayhurst trailing, can't find him with a pass. Good defensive play by Hansen, and the puck is lifted out of play. Good rush by RPI there. That's the top line going to work. Burgess, Lepinen, and Hayhurst, and they nearly turned it into a third goal. It was Burgess with the pretty pass up the wall for Lepinen, turned into a 2-on-1. And where we've seen guys tonight shoot the puck from Lepinen's situation, he tried to pass it across to Hayhurst, and Hansen got in the way, and then eventually shot the puck out. Face-off win for the Saints. Wrapped up the far side, intercepted. Back to the point from Lee. Moore, Ferner, off the end boards. Caroms around to the far side, now wrapped the near side, Garvey. Ryan Garvey up the near side board, shoots it to the RPI line, glove down by Moore, he'll shoot it off the glass, and down ice where it's picked up by Hansen again. He fans on the cross ice feed, throws it right down the middle, it's intercepted by Whiffen, has to wait for Ott to touch up, and he didn't wait long enough. Offside here on RPI. 12:42 to go in the second. Shots are now 17-14. Engineers. As it's going to be another stoppage here. I'll tell you about some scores around ECAC hockey. Brown and Cornell are tied 1-1 there in the second. Dartmouth leads Quinnipiac 2-0 up in Hanover. Also in the second period. These are all in the second period. Harvard has come back to take a 3-2 lead on Princeton. And Clarkson and Union are now tied 1-1. I'll get you going on the scoring in this one because I didn't give you the full scoring. Caden Pickering got things started at 10:21 of the first period. Michael Laidley on the lone assist. Then Otto Ville-Lepinen from Jacob Hayhurst and Tommy Grant at 14:04 of the first period made it 1-1. Keenan Southers, his third goal of the year at 17:35 from Carson Jasevich and Michael Schumacher made it 2-1 Saints. And then Jake Morello, his first goal of the year at 18:06. Assist to Patrick Polino and TJ Samick. Drop the puck here with a little under 13 minutes on the clock. Engineers win the center ice draw. Moore dancing into the zone. Forced back out to center ice by Jankowski. RPI will actually just dump it in. Saints quickly back the other way. Jankowski, top of the near circle, walking in. A wrist shot blocked down. Free to White. His shot is saved. Rebound side of the cage. Trying to jam it in. No. And Ferner keeps it out. He denied Jankowski at the near post when Marshall was down and out. And for the second straight night, Brady Ferner makes a goal-saving play in front of his netminder. And now we get a penalty coming up, as it might be Ferner taking a hold here. 12:03 on the clock. Period number 2. It's going to be a hold. Is it on Ferner? I think it is. Brady Ferner denied the stick attempt there. Marshall did make an extra save, by the way. I didn't see live. Another stop when he was down. So the first power play of the game for St. Lawrence, they come in at 13.8%, 4 out of 29. RPI's penalty kill, an even 80%, 24 of 30. So the Dakota Dunes, South Dakota native, Brady Ferner in the box. If RPI can kill this, they can consider it to even up, as right before that, Ferner made a nice defensive play. This pass towards the point comes out of the zone, gathered up by Alfberg. Now Hayhurst went after the puck and spun himself down into the ice. Wrapped back in by the Saints. It'll come down off the glass far side. Samek picks it up next to his own goal and slaps it all the way down. Manella's going to stop it there. And wait for Hansen. Bo Hansen, 1 assist in 7 games so far this year. We'll work it up the near side for Stevens. Stevens will ring it in. All the way around to the far corner it goes. Now all the way to the far point. Broken up by Whiffen. This will hop out of play, however. Who did it touch last? They'll say Whiffen. Whiffen, or Ott, claiming it might have come off a Saint last. Anyway, face off in the RPI zone. 113 on the Ferner penalty for holding. First penalty of the game for either team. Comes in a tie game, 2-2 with 11:15 left in the second. Saints and Engineers. Gilmore, near side half wall. Scrapping is Ott. Ott wins that 50-50 puck battle and shoots it all the way down. Manella with some pressure from Whiffen, works it near side for Stevens. Far side connection. Here comes Jasevich into the zone. Jasevich all the way around. Trying to play it back to the point. He was tied up by Samek, but eventually gets the job done to Stevens. He avoids Jerry. Stevens walking in. Gets it back, top of the near circle. Stevens, center blue line. Drops it off. Schumacher. He'll carry it to the near side. He'll actually just play it down low. Nobody below the goal line. Tommy Grant there. Finds Samek. Samek a chance to clear. Backhands it down the ice. 10.5 left in the second. Another 20 seconds on the St. Lawrence power play. The first of the game for either team. Rung into the zone by Laidley, who picked up an assist. His first point of the year on the first goal of this game. Penalty about to expire, 5 seconds on it, as the Saints are forced back into their own zone. So Ferner out of the box. Engineers kill off the first one of this game. And now stolen away by Lepinen. Stolen right back by Hansen, however. Steven throws it far side. Laidley into his own bench, and a stoppage here. 9:51 on the clock. As we're going to have a face-off coming up in the neutral zone. Engineers are back in action next weekend. I mentioned it earlier, they head to Quinnipiac and Princeton. Then they have an off weekend, a bye weekend the following weekend. Then Thanksgiving weekend, they have a home and home with UMass Lowell.
They also keep the grades above standard, and these outstanding student athletes make a difference on and off the field. Congratulations to Women's Swing United students.
So that's after that UMass Lowell home game on Sunday, the 25th of November. That's, I guess, this month. RPI is not home again until January 5th against Army, when they make a return trip that weekend from Harvard. Elite game on that Friday. They play Army at home the next day on the 5th. So that road trip And it is a road trip. It's not one of those, they're just not playing in this building. They're going all over the place. Notre Dame for 2. Then they go to Yale and Brown. Then they go to Vermont for 2. And the tournament, Northeastern and the Catamounts there in the Catamount Cup end of December. So it's technically after the winter break, 28th to 29th of December. And then that Harvard Army weekend. So just home games become few and far between after tonight. So a win would be huge for the Engineers' psyche and, of course, in the standings. Tie up as Hayhurst goes down. Picked up Burgess near corner of the St. Lawrence zone. All the way around to the far corner now. Shot behind the goal. Wraps to the near side. Pitching in Hallbauer. Always looking to get into the play. Hallbauer down low. Around the net goes Hallbauer. Still on it. Back to the point. Into the skates of Mort. Had trouble corralling it. Does a nice job to keep the play alive. This is going to squirt out of the zone. Hands it back off to Hallbauer there. Fed far side. A little bit of room to work. Lampinen. He'll take a wrist shot and a save made by Manella. And he'll hold on. 9:10 to go second period. Still a 2-2 game. Both teams threatening here in this second, but still no goals to show for it. Along with our first power play, which belongs to the Saints, but weren't able to turn it into much. RPI did a good job not letting the Saints set up on that man advantage. 18-17, the Saints have really closed the shots on goal department here. Garvey across. In comes Wolf. Wolf down low. Behind the goal, now Garvey, near side corner. Takes a shove from Harris. Matt Harris battles him there. Thrown through his own legs by Jasevich. Garvey trying to corral, but it's out to center ice. Lee, oh, he threw it right through Harris. Second ever from Ferner, gets it to Harris, who gets dumped along the far side wall. Quickly back to his feet. Donovan not there. Donovan not far corner. Walking circle, shot coming, went wide. Caught Manello off guard, but he missed the net. And now it's played back behind the goal. Whiffen, far side half wall. Sometimes for this RPI team, at least early on in this year, it's been some nights they've been hitting the net and others they have not. It's severely affected these score lines, obviously. Seems like they couldn't miss the net against Union. And other nights haven't come quite so easy. That was a good move, though, by Odd. They just trying to fire the puck through some traffic. There's a steal by the Saints in the RPI zone. Stolen right back by Linden. Tour Linden, far side carry as Bowman with him. DeGrande as well. Shot coming. Linden was blocked by bodies. Never got to goal. Picked up far side Bowman. No, couldn't corral it. And now behind the goal, gathered up by Hansen. Down the middle, right onto the tape of Jake Johnson, who thought he had scored his first career goal earlier. They waved it off. And now Bowman, far side, along it goes to center ice. Picked up DeGrande. He'll lift it up the far wall. Still Danny DeGrande in the far corner, behind the net. Linden, back for DeGrande. Up top, Johnson. Johnson holding, shooting, it's blocked. Kept in by Johnson. Another time on the skate by DeGrande. Now it's flipped towards goal, redirected. Chip just wide by Tour Linden. And these freshmen really combining here to create some scoring chances, but couldn't put it away. Now Risto trying to center, comes all the way through. Played behind by Polino, who is back checking. And now Bowman trying to lift it off the boards. Gets by Clark to center. Jerry pressuring. He nearly walked in if he could have found that puck. Would have been free, but as it was, the Saints corral and dump it back in the other way. With speed comes Billy Jerry through center. All the way into the Saints zone. Centering pass. Broken up nicely. Pops free. A shot there by Samick is held onto by Manella. It was a good idea by Jerry. He had a man in front. It was a right-hand shot. I think it was Polino who had maneuvered his way to the middle of the slot. And if he could have connected on that one, he had a pretty good shot at goal. But credit the Saints defensively for reading that play and breaking it up. 6:37 to go in the second. 2-2 RPI in St. Lawrence. Shots are 21-17 Engineers. Face off in the St. Lawrence zone. Lately to take it. As Burgess tried to lean into a shot, but he couldn't get anything on it because he was also leaning into the body of Clark. Puck comes loose. Hayhurst has it near side. Those quick strides, moving his way around the net. All the way around goes Hayhurst to the far circle. Still circling, Hayhurst drops it off. Samick, top of the far circle now. Penalty coming up on the Saints. Thrown towards the side of the cage. It'll be covered up by Manella. But the Engineers are going on the power play. 3 for 25 are the Engineers this year. That's 12% even. That's easy math, too. Cross-check is the call. It's going to go on Carson Dimoff. A freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona. RPI on the power play, as mentioned, 12%. Saints penalty kill, 76.7%. Shot coming, stopped there, fed just wide. The try by Hayhurst, still looking for that first goal is Jacob Hayhurst. Johnson on for Hallbauer. 2 freshman D-men on this power play unit, along with Ott, Hayhurst, and Whiffen. Whiffen down low, feeding it in front off a skate, kick towards the net. And then keeping it out from his stomach was Manella, as now Whiffen's underneath somebody. And it's Hansen. The Hansen doesn't want to get up. Well, this game's going to have to continue. Gonna have to move everybody out of there. 5:47 to go in the second. As well, Manella, he kept that right toe on the post long enough to keep that one out, and he got a whistle eventually. He might not have had the puck either. Anyway, here's Ferner off the draw. Another face-off win and a big spot for the Engineers on the power play. Down low from Burgess. Polino, stick handles back to the top of the circle. Up top for Ferner, now blue line. Ferner waiting, still Brady. Ferner stick handling, lost the puck, out to center. Southers with it there, 2-on-1 shorthanded. Southers across, and it's Polino, the last man back, who made the play with a skate. Good play by Patrick Polino, although he gives it away far side of his own zone. Picked up by Moore. Moore has a man near side is Burgess. A little bit of room to move in with the minute to go on the power play. Fed across, picked up Ferner. He'll try to move it back to the point. Has Burgess there with him. He lost the puck. Diving play by Burgess. Can't keep it in. Garvey, 2-on-2 now with Kasevich, and they're offside. This could be intentional as well. And if the play on RPI wasn't, I don't know how this isn't either. Kasevich knew that he was offside, and so was his teammate, and still touched the puck. And now we have differing definitions of what intentional offside is. What are they going to do? Look at something? No, just a break. I didn't think he could have media stoppages, and it's not one, I guess. Linesman needed to clear off his visor. Face off outside the RPI zone. 50 seconds to go in the power play. Jake Johnson stick handling. Fed across for Hayhurst. On for Hallbauer. Hallbauer into the zone. Takes a shot from a tight angle. Glove save. Manella hold on. And a face off coming up in the Saints zone. Shot totals piling up again. Engineers are surely to eclipse the 34 they had last night. They already have 24. We still have 5 minutes left in the second. Hayhurst to take the face off here. Hallbauer steps in, plays it up into the corner. Ott over there with Garvey and Whiffen as well. 30 seconds to go on the RPI power play. Fighting forward is Hayhurst. Back to Hallbauer. Far point now Johnson. Johnson near side Hayhurst. The power play catalyst takes a wrist shot that goes just wide. Again, Manella trying to look through a screen. He didn't see it. It was just in a butterfly hoping it hit him. Down low Whiffen. Near side. Back up top Johnson. Wrist shot coming, save. Rebound loose, and it's flipped out to the far side. Manella got just enough of that one. Penalty's about to expire. Engineers with a good number of looks in that power play, but they weren't able to convert. Neither team now has scored on their single man advantage opportunity either way. Bouncing puck at center, gathered up by Hallbauer. He'll work it up the near side boards and in deep. First one to it, Alfberg for the Saints. And now played along by White far side. Pinching in is Harris, on for Polino. Polino out of the far corner, trying to stick handle, lost it there. Moved out by Laidley. Laidley near side off the stick of Dimoff into the near corner. And now Dimoff and Harris battle for it behind the RPI goal. Harris there, played it back for Grant. Grant waiting for it behind the Engineers net. He'll try the near side, off the glass, center ice. Into the stride of Morello, but it's knocked away from him. Left in the near corner, Polino's the first one there. Polino tied up behind the goal, picked up by Morello on the near side. Settles down a rolling puck to the top of the zone. A shot by Jerry, easy right pad save. Saints have it, and they break back the other way. Stick handling through center, comes Pickering. Lobbed in on goal, is going to be held onto by Marshall. 3:04 on the clock. And a 2-2 game, RPI and St. Lawrence here. And we're going to get a media stoppage. It's Military Appreciation Night. Plenty of students invited, military ROTC students invited, as well as we had a rappel down from the rafters here at the Houston Fieldhouse before the national anthem tonight. Scores here in ECAC hockey. Yale leads Colgate 3-1 in the second period. Cornell 2, Brown 1. Dartmouth 3, Quinnipiac nothing. These are all in the second period. Harvard 3, Princeton 3. So Princeton has come back to tie that one again. Wild one in Cambridge. And then Union has taken a lead on Clarkson 2-1. Really unpredictable ECAC hockey, as is most of college hockey for that matter, but seemingly anything can happen on any given night. So it makes it so interesting. Hayers to take a draw here in the RPI zone. RPI wins it straight ahead. Lepinen on for Burgess. Burgess near side carry. He'll shoot in from center, gloved. And thinking about putting it down was Manella, but he ends up holding on to it as just more and more bodies came flying towards him. 2:55 on the clock, second period. No goals here in the second after we had 4 in the first. Split 2 apiece. Just 1 penalty each way in the entire game. Those will both come here in this period as well. Hayers to get on the faceoff this time against Jankowski. Puck sits on the dot. Finally pried free and now carried out by Gilmore. Trying to pick up some pace into the RPI zone. He's met there by Ferner, gives him a shove. Puck comes free to the near corner now. Ferner, far side, Lepinen. Try to help it up the wall. And it's gathered in by Hayhurst. Hayhurst crosses center, cross corner dump to the near side. Burgess takes a look around, sees Hansen, gets dumped there. Puck comes free to the far side half wall. Hayhurst off the boards, drops it back. Grant looking, shooting through traffic, never got to the goal. Lepinen helps it to the near side half boards now. Loose in the slot, picked up Burgess, trying to find it. Still there, now it's in Burgess's skates, and the Saints finally able to clear. It's Hansen on the lob. He'll lift it over Johnson. Johnson turns around and picks it up. He gets tripped up on the way through. Maybe just lost an edge as it's corralled here by Gilmore. He gets held a bit and then shoved by Grant. Puck in the near corner. Jasevich shoots it off the back of the net. Comes right back to him in the near corner. He takes a whack there from Grant. Still Jasevich. Jasevich on the move. Grant goes down. Puck still now in the far corner. Jasevich back on it again. Looking to shoot. Deflected high in the air. Comes down off the near glass in the corner. Southers again. On for Garvey. Good cycle from this top unit for the Saints. Wrapping around to the far side. Kept in deep by Southers, and now Jasevich trying to center. Far side all the way to the point. Pinching in White. White to the goal line, all the way around the net, leaves it in the far corner for Jasevich. Southers fills the spot at the far point. A shot coming, that one's blocked, picked up Burgess. Now Lepinen gets whacked in the middle of the ice. He's slow to get up. Look like a coming together of players there. And if looks like Otto is all right there. This is a hop off the glass, comes in on goal, and Marshall will cover up. 58.7 left in the second period. 2-2 RPI in St. Lawrence. As is the case at the end of the period. The fans in attendance get something free if the Engineers score here in the final minute of the period. So generally, although seemingly not tonight, maybe nobody wants free food. I don't know. Anyway, action here. Hansen a shot over the top, might have taken a deflection. Puck back in the far corner. Moore. Hallbauer lost his stick, or it was a Saint player lost his stick. Hallbauer going to clear it up far side. This one will hit something funky on its way. Might have been something in the Saints bench glass. Came back on the ice, but they blow it dead. 37.1 seconds left in the second. Engineers already with 27 shots in the game. Quick little RPI wrap-up of the fall that I recorded earlier during our second intermission. That's coming up. 2-2 game here, 32 seconds. Puck in front, knocked away by Marshall, picked up by Ott. Donovan Ott skates it through center ice. He'll lift it in. First one to it is going to be Alfberg. Wrapping around, shot coming, wide of goal. 18 to go in the period. Bowman picks up bottom of the near circle. Nick Bowman lifting it up the wall. Now here is Whiffen. And Ott, he's tied up, trying to get away from Hansen. And the puck comes free to the near side where Grant pinches in to keep it alive. 1 second, shot coming, redirected, and just after the horn, Ott puts it in. RPI was about a second or two from burying that, and I don't know what Hansen's problem is. He has something to say to Tommy Grant. I don't know what. It must have been away from the puck. Anyway, 2-2 game here after two. No goals in the period. Neither team able to convert on the power play. The Engineers did have 3 power play shots on their lone man advantage opportunity. St. Lawrence did not have any. We'll get to our break. It's RPI 2, St. Lawrence 2 after 2. You're listening to live coverage of RPI hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
A reminder, the Hudson Mohawk Figure Skating Club has begun its 67th year of offering Learn to Skate classes at the Fieldhouse on Saturday mornings. Classes are for all ages. For more information, check out the program at hmfsc.org. You got them, let's chuck them. The one that ends up closest to center ice will win a prize from Duncan. Last 5 seconds. Let's pick a winner. Winning number 54, 5-4. You're the winner tonight of the Duncan Chuck a Puck contest. Thanks for participating, and our thanks to Duncan for sponsoring the Chuck a Puck competition. Hey, it's award-winning chili, fall off the bone ribs, hand-cut steaks, 10% off with your RPI staff or student ID. Deals like this found only at Texas Roadhouse, 105 Wolf Road, Colony. Come dine with us, Texas Roadhouse. RPI Pep Band. RPI would like to thank Rensselaer Alumni Association, Nigro Companies, Pattison, Simpson, Ginsberg, and Griffin Law Firm, Bellini's Counter, Sodexo, the Hilton Garden Inn in Troy, the National Grid Foundation, Turner Construction, the Desmond Hotel, Reifenberg Construction, the Recovery Sports Grill, E. Stewart Jones, Hacker and Murphy, Stanley Steamer, Stewart's Shops, BSN Sports, Nigro Companies, Rensselaer Honda, Repeat Business Systems, RPI's off-campus housing, and Correct Energy, all proud sponsors of RPI Hockey. Beverages and small plates at the Hill, 379 Congress Street in Troy. Gates open at 4 p.m. The Hill, proud to support RPI Athletics.
Once again, from the Houston Fieldhouse, RPI Hockey at 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Perilous Garris here for the third period. Before we get started with that frame, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. A reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so long as WRPI is broadcasting. We'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed Once again, that's WRPI.org. 2-2 RPI in St. Lawrence after 2. Got to find a winner here. I guess we don't have to, but that means we have to play another 25 minutes. And then it's a tie, and then no one's really happy. Anyway, puck dropped. We're ready for the third. It's underway. Engineers get it into the zone, but the Saints take over there. Turn back the other way. Jasevich on the move. Flipped into the far side. Jasevich still on it. Centering pass. Good stick laid along the ice by Tommy Grant. Puck was behind the RPI goal. Garvey there. Pops in the air. Glove down by Jasevich. Now Burgess far side. Wheeling it towards center ice. Gets it as far as neutral. And then it's shot back in by Suthers, who goes off on a change along with his teammates. Tommy Grant, near side carry of his own zone. Stick handling there, lobs it along in deep. Taking a look around before going back to play the puck, Jeff Clark. 6'4" freshman from London, Ontario. Far side connection now in the middle of the ice for Jankowski. They play catch along the far wall. Back to Ederer. Back to Jankowski. Ederer, a shot over the top of the net. Caroms off the glass to the near side. Now turning and shooting there was Stevens. That was blocked. Second effort redirected wide in the try by Stevens. Kept in far point by Hansen. Skips through Jankowski to the near corner. Jankowski digging. Puck goes behind the goal. Collected by Ferner. Brady Ferner up the far side boards. Taking a whack at it there was Clark. Back to center. Picked up by Whiffen. He'll move into the attacking zone. He'll take a wrist shot that's blocked off a skate to the far side corner. Kept in on the backhand by Lee. Around the goal it goes for Stevens. Stevens near side connection to Pickering. Pickering into the skate of Clark. And it'll be fed along to center. Hand off there. On the move Laidley. Laidley into the zone. Shoots it near side corner. Moving towards center ice. Here's Wolf chipping it off the boards. Gathered in by Dimoff. Dimoff into the RPI zone. Trying to make a move. Does. Dimoff all the way in. Backhand shot. Left pad saved by Marshall. As he got across and threw that left leg along the ice. And Dimoff couldn't lift it up. Tipped into the zone by Laidley on the dump in. Stopped by Marshall there. 2 minutes into the third period. Still a 2-2 game. RPI in St. Lawrence. This tipped deep by Morello. He has the tying goal in this one right now. Spinning puck helped up the near side boards. Knocked down there by Bowman. Bowman trying to step through the check of McIntyre. Lifted along by Jerry. And now played far side Schumacher. Nice stick handling near side Risto. He turns all the way back to his own zone, however, or to neutral ice rather. Harris off the near boards. Kept in by Alfberg. And now Tommy Grant behind his own goal. Shoots it high off the glass, comes down for Bowman. And Bowman does battle there with Alfberg. Shot back in, on goal, knocked down there by Manella. He has been sturdy. There was a stat correction, so the shots after 2 are actually 28-18 RPI. And they are currently 28-19. Kept in, blue line, Ferner, no, he turns back towards center. Linden and Autovile Lappinen need to touch up. Redirected in deep by Linden, and the first one to it will be Alfberg again. Shot near side, Samick waiting for it, the near circle. Samick down low. TJ Samick walking in around the net to the far side corner, leaves it there. Lappinen trying to fight his way forward with Alfberg, and now here is Burgess. Indirect to the point, but Harris had left the point, and Samick was just getting back from his offensive jaunt. As it's turned out by Jasevich. Ferner off the far boards, can't get it out of the zone. Touch pass, Burgess can't corral. Second effort from Hayhurst gets the job done, but then it's given right away to Hansen, who flips it back to the RPI zone. Shot down ice. This should be icing here on RPI, though Lee was upended away from the play by Stevens. No one seems to care. 16:14 to go, third period. Shots are 29-19. Engineers, the game is tied at 2. I don't remember the last time RPI outshot its opposition on both nights of a weekend series, especially a league weekend. But that's about to change. It looks for all the world that RPI is going to outshoot the Saints here today. The question is, will they outscore them? Stevens, far side carry. Flipped up the wall, chipped in deep by the Saints. Gilmore, stopped back there by Marshall. Around to the far side, half wall it goes. Shot from a tight angle, hit the skate of Hallbauer. Jankowski now in the corner. He's wrapped up by Hallbauer. And played behind the goal. Here's Mears Moore. Moore connecting to Whiffen, and now on to Lee. 2-on-3 as they hit the line. More engineers joining the play, some off the bench. Here is Hansen, far side of his own zone as the Saints break to center. Shot in off of a body that hit Hallbauer, picked up by Morello. He turns back the other way, tipped into the zone by Ott. Manella out to play. He's met by Whiffen. Whiffen throws a little bit of a slash down on the goalie stick, but we play on there, just trying to separate the puck there. I guess nothing malicious from Brady Whiffen. Chipped off the glass now, picked up by Johnson. Jake Johnson thought he had his first career goal in that second period. It was waved off eventually after going to review. And then the Engineers also nearly scored to the end of the second period when Donovan Ott tipped home what would have been the go-ahead goal if we were playing 21 minutes and 1 second, but we aren't. And so the game remained tied at 2. Shot around to the near side boards now, still in the Saints zone. Gleekel trying to clear it out to center and does. Picked up there by Johnson. Touched on into the zone. Nice play, Polino. Polino shooting high over the top and off the glass. Near side, kept in by Bowman momentarily. He does battle there with Pickering. Puck back to center ice. Now Alfberg. He takes a hit there from Grant. Separates him from the puck. And now Grant plays it up the near side boards. Out to center on the carry comes Bowman. Bowman crosses the red line, tried to dump it in, ran into Alfberg. Gets it deep enough for RPI to try and make a change. Here's White now carrying. Up ahead for Gleekel. Cade Gleekel into the RPI zone. Takes a hit, lost the puck. Behind from Ferner. Here comes Harris, far side through the stick of Linden. And now shot along by White. Picked up by Risto, and the Engineers regather in their own zone again after Risto couldn't corral. Chipped up the boards by Linden on for Leppinen. Leppinen into the zone. Around the goal, far side with a loose stick over there that Leppinen avoids. Still Leppinen. Lap number 1 complete. Hands off for Harris. Wrist shot coming. Hit bodies in front. Loose in the slot. Underneath some legs. And that'll be picked out of there by McIntyre. And McIntyre will lift it up the far side boards. Pops right back to Southers. And now Leppinen steals it away in the far circle to the wall. Played behind by McIntyre, then goes down. And all the way out to the near point, Samek, wrist shot coming, save made there, kicked over to the far side, hits that loose stick. We knew it would come into play, and it did. Lob back out to center by the Saints, picked up by Samek. He'll rim it right back in, comes down in the far side corner again. They have to deal with that stick again. Picked up there by Garvey. He'll try to move it to center, broken up by Ott. Garvey gets back on it and finds Southers, who lifts it into the RPI zone, far side corner. Jasevich, knocked away from him. Ott throws a hit. Puck still behind the RPI goal. It's Garvey. Garvey still on it. Shot off the iron there. A clean connection. I think that was Ederer, or make it Jankowski, who just ripped one off the post. And we remain tied at 2. 12:42 left in this third period. That play developed seemingly out of nothing there. The Saints nearly took the lead again. Here's Wolf, near side point, blocked by Ott. He got all of that one. And now Wolf does a nice job to keep the play alive in the offensive zone, gets it deep. Samek pinches his man against the end wall, and finally lets go. Chipped off the near side boards, looking for Harris, intercepted by Wolf. His cross-ice pass was broken up. Now it's gathered in by Jasevich. He'll shoot it into the RPI zone. Now there's a loose stick in the RPI, and there's 2 loose sticks on the ice, 1 in each zone. A little bit of symmetry if you're into that kind of thing. Samek now. Behind his own goal, he navigates that loose stick as an extra defender out there. Little stick handling drill, which Samek aces. Back to TJ Samek. He'll lift into the far side corner. The stick has migrated behind the Saints goal, and now dealing with it is Hansen. Plays it up the far side wall. Kept in by Burgess nicely. Off the end boards and out to the near side. This one will go all the way down the ice. They wave off the icing, so back to pick it up is who is that? Ferner? Yeah, Ferner near side for Moore. And the Saints get it in deep. Pickering. Ferner again. On for Moore. 11:20 to go in the third. Still 2-2. RPI and St. Lawrence. And now Morello. He'll shoot it in. Behind the net, it's Stevens. If you're keeping track, there's still 2 loose sticks on the ice. Shot up the far side boards. Knocked back to center by Ferner. Swatted right back into RPI territory, knocked down by Marshall. And now Ferner with a stretch pass, tipped in deep by Bowman to negate the icing. Stevens and Bowman go into the near corner. Puck comes free. Picked up by McIntyre. Played off the wall. Stolen away by Bowman for a second, but right to Stevens. Stevens goes behind his own goal, trying to get away from Bowman. Stolen away, walking into Grande. He hits the post. Oh, Danny DeGrande was one-on-one. He beat the goaltender, but couldn't beat the left pipe. Now Grant walking in. His shot's blocked down. Grant again. He'll shoot it off the end boards in deep for Bowman. Bowman back to the point for Grant. Trying to get these fans fired up. Johnson near point. Wrist shot coming. Takes the deflection on its way through. Goes behind the goal for Linden. Tour Linden over for DeGrande. He'll lift it on further and chase after it behind the goal. DeGrande behind the cage, trades places with Grant. Grant shoots it around near side. Now Johnson pinches in. Great shift here by this very young forward group, along with Johnson and Grant. Johnson hands it off. Bowman back to the far point. Grant keeps it alive. Near point, Johnson. Johnson pulls it back, takes a shot, and a save is made. Rebound popped free to McIntyre. Saints in desperate need of a change. Will shoot it up the wall. Will this be icing? It will be. And the fans here, an opportunity to get behind these Engineers. This group is gassed right now for St. Lawrence with 9:40 to go in the third period. A tremendous, tremendous shift. DeGrande nearly gave RPI the lead. That hit the inside of the left post. Oh boy. Danny DeGrande, the freshman from Macomb, Michigan, former Green Bay Gambler, had an opportunity there. It was a good move he made. He shook Manella right out of his boots. And now I think St. Lawrence smartly is going to call a timeout here.
It's time to get on your feet for the T-shirt toss, sponsored by SecQ.
9:40 to go in the third period. Saints use their timeout here. 4 goals in this game. They all came in the first period. I think I said some point in the second, or maybe late in the first, that we might be in for a shootout, but then all the scoring stopped. So if you're someone looking for a lot of goals, you can blame me for that. But as is the case, Engineers and Saints are tied at 2 here. Other stats to tell you about shots are 30 to 19 RPI. Neither team has been able to convert on their power play chance. Both of those came in the scoreless second period. Face-offs are just about even, 25-24 St. Lawrence now. So RPI has been clawing its way back ever since this game started. Saints had a real big advantage in the face-off. Now they win that one. We're tied up 25 apiece. Shot coming was blocked by Garvey on the try by Moore from the far side circle. Now Hayhurst zips it over to Hallbauer. His shot deflects up into the netting. Or no, it stays on the ice. It came down in the near corner. And now Hayhurst is going to skate this one out to center on his own. Saints still in need of a change. Hayhurst going to work it down the middle of the ice and chip it in. If Manella knows what is good for him, he'll cover here, and he does. His teammates will thank him. So we shot attempts. Tell a little bit more about this one. 52 to 33 RPI. So they're getting the job done in that department. As I mentioned, faceoffs are now even. Not a lot of penalties this weekend. RPI was 0 for 4 on the power play last night, and they only took 3 penalties. So 4 penalties taken on the weekend after taking 14 against the Dutchman last weekend. So a better number there. For whatever reason, I feel like the Engineers always take an exorbitant amount of penalties against the Dutchman. It's always, even if they take, seems like it's a very few amount of penalties, you always look up and it's like, oh, they had 5. I think it's what it was on Friday night. It was 5 penalties. Or Saturday, I mean. It was 5 and it was 9 here on Friday. Union scored on its first power play. The Engineers killed off the next 8 that night, and then 5 in Schenectady. So, for whatever reason, the Engineers have done and continue to do a much better job staying out of the box against teams that aren't Union, and it continues tonight. Just 1 penalty taken each way. Our guy Pep Band in full force here tonight, trying to play the Engineers on to victory here. 9:15 to go in the third period. You're listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Peerless Garris here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Engineers win the draw, keep it in. Played around behind to the near side. First one to it will be Ederer. Drops it off for Alfberg. Spun to the ice was Lee. Alfberg stays on the puck near side for Ederer. Lifting it up the boards. That's played with a high stick. I guess not. Maybe it was touched by a Saint there. I don't know. It looked like Whiffen played it above his head. Tipped into the Saints bench. No, off the boards and in deep. Alfberg there. He's wrapped up by Whiffen. Picked off the wall by Ott. Ott walking in. Still Ott, a shot and a save. Somehow Donovan Ott, with not a lot of speed, just cruised his way on in and got a shot away. That Manella stopped. Tipped in deep by Whiffen. RPI will change again. Alfberg leaves it for Stevens, who calls him off. Up the near side boards into the zone. Pickering, but they're offside as Tommy Grant delivers the hit. I think they agreed that that was all fair. Also a reminder, folks, daylight savings. So we fall back here tonight on the clocks. Of course, 90% of everyone's clocks they use are automated. So it's really just what the oven and the microwave need to change. Probably if you have a newer oven, probably does it on its own too. You might have paid extra for that. Center ice draw, Saints win it and shoot it in. Hallbauer there. He'll skate it down the middle of the ice. Still Hallbauer on the move. Nice move, going coast to coast. Hallbauer all the way in, all the way around the net. To the far side circle he goes. Back up top for Samek. He'll hold and move it to the near side boards where he just shoots it down low. Now Jerry. He's wrapped up there by Laidley. Poke check free, picked up Polino. Polino dumps it on in. Laidley shielding nicely away from Jerry, and now here comes Stevens. He'll move it out to center. And Jake Stevens will just shoot it in. 7.5 to go third period. Things have tightened up in the shots on goal department as this one's gone along here in the third. Not a lot going either way. Engineers are just on side here. It's picked up by Burgess. Trying to walk his way in, and he's steered off the puck by Southers. Leppinen over to help out, as is Hayhurst, kept in there by Harris. Up the wall for Hayhurst. Hayhurst walking in. Still Hayhurst makes a move. He's tripped up. He drew a penalty, and RPI's going on the power play. Credit Jacob Hayhurst for drawing this one. It's going to be a trip. And when you stick handle in those dangerous areas between the dots, that's when guys start getting pulled down, and that's what happened there. Hayhurst draws a big penalty in this one. Dylan Wolf going off here in a power play opportunity for the Engineers. So Hayhurst has done it all without scoring goals this season. He's been the catalyst for this RPI offense. 10 assists on the season, which if we go to the national leaderboard and tell you 10 assists, if everyone else stays the same, would be tied for the national lead. Hayhurst walking in, takes a shot, it's blocked. Rebound just sits there in the circle. Ott back to the point for Johnson. Across far side, Hallbauer back to Johnson up top. Near side, Hayhurst circle, shooting, serve! Jacob Hayhurst! It's 3-2 RPI. His first goal of the year, and it gives RPI a 3-2 lead with 6:49 to go in the third. 20th career goal for Hayhurst, the junior from Mississauga, Ontario. Could not have come at a bigger time. Good patience by this RPI power play. They worked it across to the far point, wasn't on. Hayhurst top of the circle. Maybe you think he's going to pass it right back. No, he walked his way in, got right along the ball level, a little bit higher than the dots there, and just outside the dot, and ripped it. And it looked like Manella got a piece of it. Obviously not enough. It found its way inside the right post. 11 points now on the year for Hayhurst. That leads the team. And these fans get a chance to cheer here. RPI with its first lead of the night. And now we'll see what the Saints have in order. Puck loose in the slot. RPI end gathered up by Ott here. He'll just flip it out to center ice. So a power play goal for Hayhurst. The assists going to Johnson and Hallbauer. So the two freshmen on this power play, which I thought looked pretty good the last time around. This is just the second power play for RPI. Hallbauer and Johnson looked very much in sync on the previous RPI power play. Maybe unlucky not to score then. This time they get the goal with the shot from Hayhurst. And 3-2 RPI. 5:50 to go in the game. Puck in the RPI zone. Stolen away by Moore. He has some room to look up ice near side. And he'll navigate back towards the middle of the ice. Slow and steady. Up comes Moore. Chips it off the boards before taking a hit from Southers. Now Morello trying to get loose. He's being held. And no one else agrees with him. And now Polino gets upended behind the goal. RPI fans want more penalties. Not going to get one here. It's been a pretty loosely called game here. Now Polino. Grant hit a leg. Picked up by Jasevich. And Jasevich will bring it up. Shot into the RPI zone. Gathered in by Harris. Matt Harris turns away from some pressure. Shoots it near side. We'll see how much more pressure the Saints bring on the forecheck. Now down a goal for the first time. And getting late. Harris behind the net. Shoots it near side. Couple players just off the bench. One of them's Tour Linden. He takes a look up ice. He'll cross center. Chips it into the near corner. He'll chase after himself. Be the first one there. Tour Linden, the rookie from Great Falls, Virginia. Back to the point. Far side. A little shimmy from Hallbauer. Shot comes. It was Linden in the slot, but that was a bouncing puck and he didn't catch it cleanly. Now it's lifted out of play, and the faceoff will stay in the St. Lawrence zone. We'll draw things up here to the left of Manila. Engineers looking to improve to 3-1 in the league if they can hold on here. As the face-off comes free to Burgess, far side, tight angle shot and a save. Almost below the goal line there from Todd Burgess, but Manila had to be against that post. Now a shot over the top, going to be gloved anyway by Manila on the try by Hallbauer. And we'll draw it up again in the St. Lawrence zone. And I believe we'll have a media stoppage here. Get you some late scores from around ECAC hockey. Yale leads Colgate 4-2. They're midway through the third period. Also midway through the third, Cornell leads Brown 3-2 in Ithaca. Dartmouth all over Quinnipiac 5-1. That's what I'm talking about as far as ECAC hockey is concerned. Dartmouth lost last night 6-1 to Princeton. Now they're beating Quinnipiac 5-1. Princeton and Harvard are locked in a shootout 4-4. 7 minutes to go in the third period there. Across town, Schenectady, Union leads Clarkson 3-2 halfway through the third period. Here we just have 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. RPI with now a 3-2 lead on Jacob Hayhurst's first goal of the season. Hayhurst also an assist tonight. His team leading and potentially nation leading 10th assist. There were a number of players who came into play tonight with 10 helpers. 3 of them to be exact. Scott Perunovich from Minnesota Duluth, Brandon Cruz from Bowling Green, and Jack Akan from St. Cloud State. Face-off coming up now. Face-off here, poked along, and now out come the Saints. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Well, they like to dump it in. That was Risto to the side of the cage. Marshall will cover. Not a lot going on there, as it wasn't a real great chance.
Athletics bringing local schools in Troy to shoot for the STARS program. RPI thanks National Grid Foundation for their support.
Shots in the game are 34-19 RPI. So in this period, 6-1 Engineers. That's one way to do it. Completely shut the other team down in the third. That's how you not allow a goal. Now an outlet pass sneaks through some skates all the way to Whiffen, who drives right to the net front. And he tried a little one-handed shot there, but he was turned away. He was also being pestered on the other side. Now shot back to the direction. Tommy Grant behind his own goal takes a pretty big hit there from Garvey. And now we get a whistle. What for? Did we lose the puck and some equipment? Yeah, it's in somebody's gear because it's gone. This is always amusing when they can't find it because it inevitably just pops up on the ice somewhere and we get 2 pucks on the ice. It's either Grant or Moore, and it's like they're in line to get out of an airplane now. Bring the wand out, the puck wand. Jankowski thinks he knows where it is. We have some puck and equipment problems, and we might just have to get a new one because we can't find it. It was not an extensive search, I will say. They just looked under the jersey and in the breezers. Grant's still looking around. He can't find it. We got a new puck, I think. .347 to go in the 3rd period. Can always rely on sports for a laugh, I tell you that. 3:47 to go. 3-2 RPI. Clean win for the Saints. Hansen across. Slap shot coming. And that one hit at bodies and trickled just wide in the end. They're trying to pin it against the back wall, was whiffing, but it comes free. Polino far side. Trying to find Morello. Race for the puck here, and it's going to be Stevens who gets there first. And he shoots it up the near side. On for Ederer. His shot is gloved by Marshall from the near circle, and he holds on to it there. Next up, Engineers head to Quinnipiac and Princeton. Our next sports broadcast is supposed to be Friday against the Bobcats. They're showing the aftermath of the search for the puck in high speed there on the scoreboard. Fans getting a kick out of that. Loose puck fired over the top of the net from the middle of the slot area. Now another one hits a skate, picked up by Burgess. Man breaking's Leppinen. Can they find him? Oh, good interception there by Hansen, because Leppinen was off to the races. If Burgess could have found him, threading the needle there, but Hansen broke it up. Near side, Pickering on the carry. Pickering shooting, and a blocker save made by Marshall. Back come the Engineers with speed. It's Burgess. Leppinen with him, as is Hayhurst. A shot up high. Save made. Mask comes off. And then we get a penalty coming up. A slash. They're going to get both Ferner and Dimoff here. Ferner can't believe it. I think he was a little more accepting when he realized it was going to be matching penalties here. So Manella's mask got all of that shot from Burgess, and it popped right off his head. And when that happens, they immediately stop play. It's going to be 4-on-4. Matching penalties. Matching penalties is 4-on-4. Yes, just put them in regular. 4-on-4 hockey here. So no power play. Dimoff for embellishment, and then I guess that comes second. Ferner for slashing, and then embellishment on Dimoff. There's a shot and a blocker save on the try by Hallbauer. So this makes the final couple minutes a little bit interesting here. You got a lot of room out there, and the Engineers have a lead, so they don't want to take too many chances. The penalty will eat up all but about 44 seconds of this game. The 4-on-4. It'll be 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, then 5-on-5 for 44 seconds. Engineers still up 3-2. 2.5 to go. Shot in by the Saints. Around the goal it goes. Samek picks it up. Lost it in the corner. Here's Ederer. Far side half wall, gets some room, takes a shot, save, rebound poke free, another try, Jankowski no, back to the point, Schumacher no as well, it was blocked by a leg. Far side Alfberg, flips it back up to the point there. Schumacher holding, Far side connection. Back up top. Schumacher, a drive over the top. Jankowski far side. One-time fan down. Right to the point it goes. Another try. Left pad save. Rebound picked up there. Ederer pinching the pads is Marshall. And he's got a whistle. And a much-needed one at that is 4-on-4. The Saints looked hungry. And they nearly had a tying goal on a couple occasions. 1:51 to play. And we'll get a stoppage. Good chance, though, for the Saints. RPI up to 37 shots. It's 37-24 in favor of the Engineers. 3-2 on the scoreboard. Engineers win the defensive zone draw, shoot it up the glass. Picked up by Ott, one-on-one with Stevens. Ott all the way around the goal. Shielding there. Still Donovan Ott. Turns back towards behind the net. Now to the near circle. Still Ott on the carry. Top of the zone. Looking for room, maybe take a shot here. Still Donovan Ott. He's continuing on the puck. Ott now on the near side. Still Stevens on him. A one-man wrecking crew. Donovan Ott lifted down low by Harris. All the way around to the far side corner it goes. Whiffen has his man pinned off the puck now. Back to the point. Johnson right back down low. 30 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. Polino trying to find it there. Stolen back by the Saints. Jasevich can't leave the zone. Picked up Polino. Polino trying to walk his way in. RPI changing 3 behind Patrick Polino. Somehow stays in the zone. What a play by Polino. Stays on the puck and the pass back to Grant. Hops over his stick. It's a race for it here. Grant's going to get there first. And he's watched very closely by Jasevich. Lifted up the near wall. Stolen away. Alfberg. Goaltender off with 40 seconds to go. 6-on-5 hockey here as the penalties expire as well. Shot goes wide. Chance for an open net. And this will be all the way down, so no icing here. Actually came off it was a Saints shot that sent the puck all the way around and out. And who's back on the ice? Of course, it's Stuart Linden looking for another empty netter. Samek takes a hit from behind, lost the puck. Now Linden's being pestered there. Puck finally back out to center. Saints moving in far side. Ederer, drop pass. Jankowski, fed far side, near side rather. Chip behind the goal. 6 to go in the game. Back up top, Alfberg, holding, waiting, far circle, shot blocked, rebound put wide, and that'll do it. And Bo Hansen found himself in the middle of the Engineers celebration, and he'll need to be separated here. The Engineers hold on 3-2, a come from behind win. They trailed 1-0, 2-1. And eventually came back and won it 3-2. A big win nonetheless for the Engineers. Jacob Hayhurst, the story of this one, as he has been through much of this early part of the season. A goal and an assist, including the game winner. RPI picks up the North Country home split here on the weekend. I'll run down the scoring very quickly and get you my offensive and defensive Engineers of the game. 10:21 of the first period. Caden Pickering, his first collegiate goal, minute 1-0 St. Lawrence from Michael Laidley. RPI tied it up at 14:04 of the first period. Otto Ville-Lepinen, his second of the year from Jacob Hayers and Tommy Grant. Saints took the lead at 17:35 of the opening frame. Keenan Suthers, his third of the season from Jasevich and Michael Schumacher. And then RPI tied it up at 18:06 of the first. Morello's first goal on the year from Patrick Polino and TJ Samek. Third period, the only goal after a scoreless second came at 13:11. It was a power play goal by Jacob Hayhurst, his first of the year from Johnson and Hallbauer. As Hayhurst wins in-game top player honors. Lyndon Marshall made 23 saves to pick up the win. Daniel Manella had 34 stops at the other end and a loss for the Saints. My offensive and defensive Engineers of the game. Offensively, pretty clearly Jacob Hayhurst's goal and an assist. He was even on the night, 2 shots, including the goal. Defensive Engineer of the game, we're going to give it to Brady Ferner. Second night in a row, he's made a big-time defensive play to deny a scoring opportunity in front of his own goaltender. Brady Ferner is my defensive Engineer of the game. Before we go, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the instant, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. A reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so long as WRPI is broadcasting. We'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. I'd like to thank our man Eric back at the station for getting us on the air and keeping us there. And all of you for listening. My name is Perry Lascaris, and I want to thank you for listening to tonight's game. Your final score from the Houston Fieldhouse was the Engineers 3 and the St. Lawrence Saints 2. You've been listening to live coverage of RPI hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy.